Hey, thanks for checking out The Solid Verbal. Now would be a great time to subscribe to the channel for college football content all off season long.
Josh Gattis is out as offensive coordinator at Miami. I don't know if that comes as a huge surprise. The offense never really came together in year one for Mario Cristobal, but it does represent pretty significant fall from grace, or at least momentary descent from grace, let's say, for Josh Gattis, who was the Broyles Award winner in 2021 when he was offensive coordinator at Michigan, took the gig at Miami to much acclaim. It did not work out. I suspect Gattis will land on his feet, but suffice to say, the results weren't there in year one at Miami, and they are going to be looking in a different direction. Some of the names that have come up are your boy Andy. No, I almost said Andy Avalos.
Andy Ludwig. That's okay.
Andy Ludwig. We've also got Marcus Arroyo, with whom there was a relationship between Cristobal and Arroyo. We've also got Joe Brady, who just seemingly comes up in accordance with all of these OC positions.
Is a local. And supposedly had a conversation with Cristobal last year. Yeah.
It is a local. The other name that I saw, Dan, James Coley, with whom Mario Cristobal worked when they were at FIU. So
Yep.
a collection of guys that may be fit for different reasons. I don't know if any of those names jump out to you, but those at least are the four that I've seen.
Yeah, James Coley, of course, had his own stint at Miami. I think it was 2013 to 2015. I think is known to be because of his background in Florida. Supposed to be an incredible recruiter. Obviously, has had time on a number of staffs. Staffs? I love staffs. Coach with Jimbo Fisher at Florida State and now at A&M. And I don't think he's seen as a top flight coordinator type at this moment. Also, Mario Cristobal interviewed Kendall Briles, who's now at TCU, Jason Candle, the head coach at Toledo, who he spoke with before about the opening. Potentially, there was some smoke there, and now I guess it wouldn't be a totally unheard of move with Sean Lewis of Kent State, head coach, taking the offensive coordinator job at Colorado. So making that kind of move. Seems very much on trend right now in the sport. I think what it is right now with Miami, it's a program and it's a roster on offense that very much needs to get healthy from where they were. They hit the portal somewhat for offensive linemen. They have the best duo of offensive tackles coming in this incoming recruiting class. And it's a vision thing. It's absolutely a vision thing. Colby Young is a receiver of the future. They got some good games out of Henry Parrish and Jalen Knighton. But it was quarterback health with Tyler Van Dyke going down. It was quarterback inconsistency with Jake Garcia, who's now, I believe, at Mizzou.
Yep.
Jakari Brown, the quarterback of the future, still very much raw. And so it's somebody coming in the way that I'm sure they hope Josh Gattis would, and say, here is the vision, here are the route trees, here are our blocking schemes, here is our identity, and here is what we're going to do as an offense. And certainly Tyler Van Dyke's injury set everything backwards pretty quickly. But I really do think it's, Mario Cristobal has that reputation of micromanaging, for better or worse. And if it's Andy Ludwig, whoever it is that comes in, you would hope, as a Miami fan, is given pretty much complete autonomy to sort of put that vision forward. It's not a huge class in terms of running backs and receivers coming in right now for Miami, but it's certainly an opportunity. There are certainly pieces there. The defense should put the offense in a decent enough place. The defensive line seems very promising. So I'm still a believer that this is a very good job, with the asterisk of Mario Cristobal's, his fingerprints on Mario Cristobal teams and their offenses.
Yeah, the thing that I couldn't get over, and I understand that it was a season for Miami filled with caveats on the offensive side of the ball, right? Not the least of which was the fact that it was year one in a new system for a lot of these guys. So I get that. I will never get used to seeing a Miami team that is 127th in ISO PPP or 128th in marginal explosiveness. These advanced metrics that we look at, courtesy of our friend Bill Connolly, that give us some indication of how explosive a team is or isn't. Right? We see the same thing on the defensive side of the ball. We reference it often, but on the offensive side of the ball, just with the athleticism that I think we are all used to seeing on Miami's offense, to not have that this year was a huge letdown, especially as Cristobal came in with big name coaching hires, with all of this recruiting acclaim, to see the offense fall off the way that it did. Again, not without caveats, but that was very disappointing. Hopefully the next guy, whoever it is, can step in and get better results on that front.
Yeah, I think the floor is going to be raised significantly, whoever the new guy is, just because this should be an offensive line that continues to get better. And we have sort of seen the identity of Mario Cristobal offensive teams, but it's going to be what you mentioned, right? No. It's going to be the ability to generate explosive plays, to take chances downfield, to get creative and find mismatches on offense. And, a buy-in not just from the coaching staff, but a buy-in from the roster. Receivers blocking, running backs staying into block, running backs not, sulking on the sideline, right? So that's going to be the big deal, because there's always going to be speed in the state of Florida and in the Miami area. It's just going to be a matter of everybody getting on the same page.